Previously on D&D MDT.
Giuseppe will reach into his pocket and he pulls out 2 slips of paper. The first is an invitation to the high-end fashion show of the century, being hosted by the royal family of Lyanda, and it's a ticket. It's a ticket for 6 people. The ticket will grant you entry to the ship, the Reginald Butterbottom the 15th. The second thing he produces is it's a ticket for a bullet train. 2 things happen as you leave the desert. Elowen manages to complete translating the journal, and she translates another segment. The hollow eye gazes down from above, and its enemies become allies over and over till we are all one. Pan, you hold up the jar with the worm just for one last look. It glints in the sunlight. You hold it. A shaft of sunlight comes through, and the worm sort of cowers from the sunlight for a moment. As you do that, you see the other gyrocopter sailing off into the desert sun. And just as it passes to the edge of your visual range, Giuseppe looks over and he waves. And he disappears.
Yes. I knew it. I knew it.
Hello and welcome to another healthy dose of D&D MDT, the case conference where we solve D&D's greatest issues via play. And today we have our regular case conference of allied health professionals and doctors and nurses and just all around good people. Tonight we'll be playing High Fashion in the High Skies. This is a D&D module from the book Run Faster Purple, Run Faster by Beadle and Green, whose motto is, your players will have a good time and then they will die. I have modified the adventure so that our players do have a fighting chance, and we are ready to go. I appreciate everyone's fashion sense. How's everyone feeling?
Great.
Good.
Pumped.
Walk the red, purple, green carpet, whatever color it happens to be.
Without further ado, we will kick off with our players having escaped the Hollow Desert, having tickets to the fashion show of the century in the kingdom. The fashion show of the century being hosted by Amalia de Lyrandar, the matriarch of the powerful family, the Lyrandars. Our heroes find themselves having traveled to the city where the Lyrandars are hosting said fashion show. And that is where we find our heroes. Heroes, where would you have gathered and what would you be up to prior to the fashion show?
We'll be doing a little huddle out the front.
Yeah. I think we would have gone and found some clothing that's a little bit more appropriate for an event rather than just our usual attire. Yeah.
Let's play that out if you'll indulge me. Perhaps if you guys could break off into 2 separate groups. I want to see how you guys go rustling up. Like, you've come out of the desert, right? Like, grit is in your eye, grit is in your boots, sand's everywhere. I want you to tell me what you're doing to find sort of stuff to wear to the fashion show of the century. I'll get you to make a roll, but you tell me what you're doing. Why don't we send off one group first? Who would like to pair off first? Let's make a group of 2 and a group of 3.
I'll go first. Who wants to come with Aram?
I'll come with you.
Hey, girls trip. Any of you
I
boys
have-
want to join us?
I've got some old contacts. I reckon they could help us find some outfits.
Right. Maybe I'll follow you guys.
They own a dodgy little thrift shop, but they have some really cool secondhand dresses and suits that only worn once.
So you find yourselves the equivalent of a Vinnie's. Like, what are we talking? Like, are we talking like Vinnie's level? Are we talking like boutique thrift shop?
No, sort of more a chaotic storage unit that my friend rotates things in and out of. But you can get good outfits that you can disguise yourself using all this stuff.
Okay. Why don't you guys roll me a d20? a luck check, or you can use a skill if you can pitch a skill. But roll me something and tell me what you get.
The skill, maybe survival.
Survival. Look, what is shopping for a man if not finding the survival skill to find the one stool in the store
Yeah,
to have a little sit? How good's that sit?
especially for a gnome.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make an argument
that
for
was a yes.
insight as into that's a crude.
Well, that's very nice.
Nat 20.
Can I make a insight check for getting the right
Yeah.
tone of the event?
Mhm.
Oh, very nice. Yes, feel free to make an insight check to gauge the fashion season, to gauge sort of what would be appropriate politically. Feel free to. Who got the 20?
I got a 20.
Okay.
I had 19.
I got a 17 on the dice, but I add 5 to that and can't math.
Okay. So I'll leave it up to you. You can actually choose what is the fashion trend of the season. What is the fashion trend of the season, Aram, in this time?
It is frills and bows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's work with it.
Yeah.
How many frills and bows
Boys
do you
were
each?
going,
I think it's pretty extravagant. There's a lot
Mhm.
of accessories on the outfit, still fitting her general aesthetic, but it's just very it's over the top.
Romana, Pen, how do you incorporate bows into your fashion to give you an advantage in attendance?
I think I might go full Sia with the wig and massive, great big bow on my head. And instead of 60s dress with a massive skirt and bow. You got any men in tie?
And Pan, what do you do with that excellent roll?
Yeah, well, I guess I stumble into this thrift shop and find that some gnome exactly my size has left behind a full outfit, complete with tiara, with a cape and some sort of long coat with bows all down the front, just really over the top. Probably sequined, I think, probably shiny. Not Pan's usual thing, but somehow this just works.
Right. You hear a little dink on the glass vial in your pocket.
The worm. Will
Is it
I
worth it to get dressed up?
have a look and see if he's got something to say?
He's just looking at you
Better.
pleadingly and like looking at a tiny little top hat and bow that he can see over on the shelf.
Well, okay, I think I'll grab them and I'll just very quickly stuff them in the top of the vial and stopper it up again.
Worm seems pleased. Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss? We'll cut to the other boys.
I think that's it.
All right. Daz, Tom, what are you guys doing? How do you find outfits? Bows are apparently the trend of the season, but yeah, roll me something, D20 or a skill check.
I've got a 10. I'm wondering if Van Helsing wants to see if he can find a water butt to clean up in. And maybe some aromatic weeds. Because he's an outside kind of guy. He's not really sure about dress codes.
What is a water butt? Is that a me? Like I don't
I don't know what
that is. I'm sorry.
It's a barrel next to a building where the rain drains into.
Yeah, sure. That would probably fit with a 10. What does your outfit look like after that?
Look, at the moment he's in a cape and a hood. He's already carrying a longbow. Does that count?
Sure. That's a very clever twist on bow. Yep, that'll count fine. Madaz, what do
He's
you
managed
do
to turn
when
his cape inside out so it's not dusty.
Yes. Tom, your character is also carrying the wisp cloak that the others found as well from the Hollow Desert. Keep
Ah,
that
right.
in mind, which will help with your fashion.
Yeah.
Madaz, what are you doing? I think you are muted. Also, keep in mind, guys, you found a lance, and I don't think anyone really took ownership of that from the Hollow Desert. Each of you has your own little items you acquired there, but there was a lance of some sort that no one really...
I'm carrying it, but I haven't attuned to it. I was going to give it to Madaz.
Sure.
There we go. Does this work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. My hat fits if I put my headset this way. I pressed the wrong button. Madaz is growing up dwarven sort of mining places, very practical. He knows what he likes, and he's not paid much attention to fashion, so he's going to find the nearest clothing store he can and find the best clothes that, in his mind, they have. This is basically a new coat that he can throw over the top of what he's got on now. He's going to find the biggest hat that he can find, and he, being a human town, I imagine, he knows that they like to do the things with their necks. He finds a tie.
Okay. Roll me a d20. This will determine how good the tie is, as well as how big.
That's a 1. The tie is this tie. It's awful.
And represents with your hat. How does a natural 1 affect you?
Like that. He
Yep.
looks for the biggest. He was looking for the biggest hat that he could find, and it's probably this little broad brim sort of. Probably a little too
I'm gonna say
small
with a
for him as well. So it's like
natural
wedged
one.
on. Yeah. Or too
Yeah,
big.
it's also itchy.
Yeah.
So you guys find your fine costumes, your accoutrement. How do you guys arrive at the fashion show of the century? It's being hosted on an airship, and I'll give you details of that ship in a sec. But it's at the airship docks. You can arrive however you like.
I think we probably just huddle together, make sure everyone's ready to go, and walk
We
in
have
together.
right to steal ourselves with the money.
So you guys arrive. You see there's a number of people on the catwalk. So there's a nice red carpet leading up to the ship. There's sort of a prim and proper maitre d', clipboard with sort of steel cut edges. He is ushering people in. You would know this is Severe Nightingale, the wedding planner to the stars. He is running a tight ship. Give me a few names for the red carpet. Romana, who is the hottest pop star, like the top of the charts pop star at the moment? Or anyone.
We'll go with, geez, put us on a spot. Miriam Oleander.
Miriam Oleander. And what song is Miriam Oleander famous for, Sean?
Is it a she? She's famous for her #1 hit. Don't put that on me.
Don't put that on me. Love it. Madaz, who is causing a ruckus on the red carpet at the moment? Who's perhaps a little intoxicated or something's going wrong? Which celebrity?
The celebrity chef. Shite. He just uses the name Drop Erido.
Drop Erido. And what is Drop Erido doing? Why are they causing a ruckus?
He's trying to correct the waiters on why the food is not cooked correctly, even though they did not make said food.
Chef's famously
Yes.
patient, as I understand, to work
Exactly,
with. Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Tom, who can you see that has snuck into a port around the side of the ship? Who's trying to crash the party? Which celeb?
A B-list celebrity, popular in music halls, but not really of the same sort of class as celebrity chefs, has snuck over a wall and is currently halfway stuck into a portal. Their name is Scully the Horseman.
Scully the Horseman. Is Scully the Horseman actually a horseman, or is it just like a moniker?
No, actually,
Or he can be a centaur, I suppose.
their born name was Richard Cox, but they thought that this was a terrible performer name. So they went with something much edgier as Scully the Horseman, but it turns out it didn't
Love
really work.
So that's what you guys see. You guys arrive. There's obviously the red carpet. You can go straight in. There is a side entrance for servants that someone's trying to sneak through. Scully the Horseman's struggling, but you could, if you wished, sneak in as well. And you're here because you found tickets on someone who had been transformed into a servant of the worms. But you don't know why. What would you like to do?
Do we have enough tickets for everyone to get in?
You have
Yeah.
6, so you actually have a spare. Well, actually, we'll say Elowen is around, so you have exactly. She's sort of.
So it's down to subtly talk to people about, why they're here and slip into conversation. Do they know anything about worms? But I have to figure out a subtle way of asking that.
Yeah, you can do that. Roll me a charisma check, just a flat charisma check. I'll give you advantage if you can strike up a conversation with someone or do it in a clever or funny way.
Where's my charisma? I've got +3 on charisma. So do I just do the D20 and +3?
Yeah. Or you can click if you just click the charisma tab, it can also roll it, but it's easy just to roll D20 and add 3 too.
Okay. 15 +3, 18.
15 plus 3, 18. Okay. With the 15 plus 3, 18, you strike up a couple of conversations. You talk to sort of a nosy older lady who's telling you about the gossip of the town and that Lady Amalia de Lyrandar is getting a bit old in her age. She's a little more paranoid, maybe. She believes in conspiracies. She thinks people are out to get her. So she's the lady hosting the party. You also talk to someone, and you mentioned that you're here at the party. You're an adventurer. And you see someone who's sort of wearing a hooded cloak, just sort of looks up at you and clocks you and just gives you a nod and then drifts away into the crowd. Give me a quick perception check.
Perception. Rolled a 12. And I've got +5 on deception. So 17.
Okay. You clock a symbol on their cloak. It is an A and an I.
Hey,
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. So they're okay. And they a robot.
Maybe.
A large language learning module that walks
Yes,
around the party.
Claude.
His name is Claude, sure.
Yeah.
Is anyone else doing anything as you approach the red carpet?
Should one of us go ask the Horseman what's going on? Why don't I go up and say, I don't know, why do they call you Horseman?
Why not? A few drinks, having a party.
So I need to be clear on this. This man is stuck trying to sneak in a window. So you are talking to this man's backside.
Backside.
But he says,
Right. Should I push forward or pull back? Okay. I mean, I'm only a gnome. Can I even reach him?
sure, you're sprightly. You could jump up
Sure,
and sort of.
right. I'll jump up and give him a shove.
Sure. Give me a athletics check.
Athletic. Definitely not a strength. Anyway. 13.
Yeah, that's enough. You sort of tip him through and he sort of falls into the servants' quarters. You see one or two of the servants sort of look over, but they're not paid enough to deal with this kind of stuff. And he says,
"Well, thank you. I was called Scully the Horseman because the first time I played, I had to cover for a centaur who had a bit too much to drink. So they were expecting a horseman, and here I am. And it just kind of stuck.
Good story.
Anyway, I'm going to sneak into
Anyway.
this party.
See you in there.
so he sort of sneaks in. The Reginald Bottom, the 15th, the ship is a beautiful number, right? Like it's almost gaudy in the amount of gold and gems it's bestudded with. Like this is an airship that is meant to fly in the sky and will be flying through the sky. And they've laden it with precious metals and things that would make much heavier and exact a much greater toll on any of the arcanic engines that power it. It's got beautiful 3 sails in the house, Lyrandar colors, and it seems to have multiple decks. But there's also like the servants' quarters, which is by necessity a little less glamorous. And you do have a way in there if you want to go in through the servants' quarters through that open window. The others are free to do that as well, or go down the red carpet. You do have tickets. It's up to you guys.
I think
Yeah,
Aram's
okay.
just going down the red carpet and just looking at all the pretty lights. I think she's just a little bit. She's just wandering off into the crowd, really.
The man
Then-
with the AI symbol sort of wanders up beside you, like just walking next to you, not like wanting to be seen as if he's talking to you, but he sort of whispers out of the corner of his eye, out of the corner of his mouth. If you're an adventurer, I've got a mission I'll pay you for.
Oh yeah, I'm great at adventuring. I do lots of adventuring.
Good. Look, we haven't been able to get anyone on board. The requirements for this ship and the party are pretty tight, but we've been hired by someone you don't need to know, who's afraid there's a threat to the matriarch's life. We're afraid of an assassination attempt tonight, and we've narrowed it down to 4 candidates.
Who be those 4 candidates?
There are 4 people we've narrowed it down to based on lists and contacts. There's Alistair Alinga Apostuffa. She's a female gnome noble. There is Libra Halo, who's a Kalashtar mage apprentice. And finally, there's Cog. He's a Warforged spy, which is sort of like a mechanical automaton. The 4th, and we only got this one on sort of hearsay, is Anthracia. She's a model, very hard to get close to, but she's known as the Princess of Venom for her cutting words, if you will.
Okay. Do you think someone's going to get poisoned? Or
We don't know.
stabbed?
We've been employed by someone to make sure the matriarch isn't assassinated tonight. It would destabilize a lot of things in the city.
Can I insight check this person?
Absolutely. I'll
Thank
roll it
you.
first.
Hey, I'm suspect. Oof. 15?
15. Let me check. Yeah, he seems pretty on the level. He definitely is looking for someone to help him accomplish his goals. He has that AI symbol on his chest. And you can roll me history, anyone who wants to at this point. But he seems on the level. He seems like he genuinely needs someone to get into the party, which has pretty strict entry requirements.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. You would know that symbol, the A and the I with a little line above, as the symbol of Acquisitions Incorporated, which is a entrepreneurial guild out of the Sword Coast that is run by an Omen Dron. It's a mix of bureaucratic structure, but cutthroat entrepreneurialism. And they generally have a good vibe. They will take most jobs for coin, but they tend not to take the worst jobs. So they're not perfect, but they're probably on the good side of the spectrum.
Okay. Probably good.
Underlining, probably.
Yeah. Is their face fully covered? I'm not very tall, so how tall are they to me? Can I see up into their hood?
Yeah, with that, you can see into their hood as part of that role. It seems like a fairly normal human face.
Cool. What's
They
their
seem a
eyes
little
look like?
stressed. That's about it.
Are their eyes okay? Do they have those weird little veiny things that bloody thingy had? Quinton?
Not as far as you can tell. You think that he just has a little bit of veins from maybe a little bit of drink or a bit of stress. But
Okay.
there's none of the signs Quentin had.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
fever, no
It's
erratic
not
eating.
sweating. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should keep an eye on the buffet. See if anyone's got the munchies. Okay, well, yeah, there's a couple of us here tonight. I'll go tell my friends and we'll try and hope no one gets killed.
So
Nice pub
you guys
have.
are
Hope no one gets killed.
Aram's a tough negotiator.
Yeah.
really have to make sure one specific person doesn't get killed. Like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's just death. It's not that bad. So yeah,
But
I
to
don't
be
want to
clear,
say, but we're recording, so I won't.
yeah. To be clear, the job is to stop them from dying, though.
That's easy.
And to stop the matriarch from dying if we're going to take on this job.
Yeah.
Do we get coin for it? Have they given us money?
I don't think Aaron would think to ask that.
Oh, that's true. She'd be just like, she'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Which one's the matriarch? Which one? Who's the one that when these not meant to die? Can you point them out?
Yeah, sure. So he gives you a verbal description. The matriarch will likely be seated on the throne at the front of the ship. She is sort of a regal woman in her late 70s. She's a human woman with sort of steel grey hair and a widow's peak.
Does she have much security around her?
He's not sure.
If we look up, we can get to that later. If we're not in there yet.
Cool. I will I'll ask him for his name and introduce myself before I leave. I will say, I'm Aram.
Thank you. My name is Toll. Toll.
My favorite spell's named after you.
Well,
Sorry. Aram shouldn't be talking to people. She's an awkward girl.
and you see sort of like looks around, kind of uncertain how to exit the conversation. And that sort of awkwardness someone sometimes gets, and he just sort of starts drifting back into the crowd, sort of walking backwards.
I think I'll wave my Daz down and just be like, Daz, come over here.
Yeah. Is this like, are we in yet? Like, have we gone down the carpet, or are we in?
You guys are
full
just
view of
hanging
the-
on the red carpet.
Awesome.
You're welcome
I'll-
to go in any time.
I'll probably link arms with you
I was
and
gonna
like
say,
start dragging you into the.
That's
into the
like a
actual
big
building.
scene, so that you would have been like, okay, Aaron, let's keep moving.
Yeah. I'd just be like walking straight through everybody now to go see who's this person that's not meant to die. We got to make sure they don't die.
Oh, okay. Are we getting paid?
Probably.
Okay. Yes, we should make sure people don't die.
Yeah. We didn't get paid in the desert, but we found stuff. So if we don't get paid, we can just find stuff.
All right. Looking around, taking in the precious metals and such as previously described. Okay. Okay.
Stuff. You can just rip this off the wall and shove it in your big cloak.
I think I heard someone say something about a buffet. We'll beeline the both of us towards it. Spread. And
Well, I just say Pan, maybe while all this is happening, he's enough of a gnome that I think you'd want to check out the mechanics of this thing. If there's any sort of visible engines or anything that he could, I don't know, get a metal wire and stick something into it just to see it's all okay.
You tell me what you want to roll here. If you want to try and sneak under the ship and like poke around in the engines, or if you're just like having a look and being like, oh yeah, I recognize that from the time I was fighting pirates in the, I don't know, the Vampire Wars.
Yeah. I think being a gnome, he'd actually like to have a little poke around in the engine underneath if he can. I don't know exactly
Sure.
what to roll there.
You could go down through the servants' quarters if you want. You know, this is
All right.
this is a warship to a degree.
Yep.
It's been bedecked out, but if you wanted to go in through the servants' quarters, or you can just like clamber under the ship, but you're probably not going to be able to get too far. Like it's designed to
Right.
take hits, right? Like it's you
I
could
might
sneak
climb
in.
Yeah, I'll sneak in. I'll go into the servants' quarters and
Sure.
have a poke around.
Roll me a quick stealth check just to see if anyone notices you.
Rowing stuff. Ooh, that's a 6.
With a 6, Severe Nightingale, the wedding planner / event organizer, sort of clocks you making towards the servants' quarters, and he's just like, and makes a series of hand gestures at one of the servants, and a sort of busboy sort of, she's like, whoa, 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 where are you heading there, mate?
Oh, I just thought that was the entrance. I have
Oh
a
no,
ticket.
entrance is up there by the big red carpet.
All right.
Hard to
Thank
miss.
you very
Big red
much.
carpet goes straight through the entrance.
Damn it. Thank you very much.
Literally spotlights.
It's easy to miss.
Pretend to
But
be
anyway.
like a mechanic or something, gonna fix something.
Yeah,
He's
I am
wearing a
wearing it.
tiara.
I mean, I could try, I guess.
Forgot about the tiara. Gives you
Uh-huh.
away that you're trying to get in.
Yeah, I think I may just have to sheepishly wander around to the main entrance. It was worth a shot.
You could sneak in through the porthole that send your horseman also. I would let you do that. Having resolved the horseman issue, you could have a jump through that.
Yeah, well, I wait around for the servant to wander off, check that no one's watching, and go for the portal.
Given you've already sussed that out, I will think that's fine. You can sort of sneak into the lower decks. I'll start revealing some of the lower decks for you on the map.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing while that's going on?
In the absence of adult supervision, Van Helsing has decided to stop drinking. So he's wandered straight in and found a big table looking for booze.
Yeah. You walk past Severe Nightingale, you present your ticket, I imagine, and he sort of checks it and he's like, Fox Hollow? Party of Fox Hollow?
That's me.
Okay. Roll a deception check.
Because we've got it off someone else.
That's a 6. I don't
With
think-
a 6. With a 6, Severe sort of looks at you and like sort of coughs like and sort of holds out a hand discreetly as sort of
Do I have any coins?
yeah, you would have at least 50 gold pieces from the last mission or starting coins.
Then I give him a couple of coins, hoping that's enough.
Yeah, it would say you start putting coins in his hand until you hit 20 gold pieces, and he's like, "Very good, sir," and lets you through.
And I head in muttering something about expensive drinks.
I really hope it's an open bar for you, buddy. This is gonna
I'm
get
the one who came armed with it
Good
carrying a
time.
bow. I feel like the drinks should be cheap.
That is a good question. Are we armed?
I would allow you to carry your normal raiments and basically say that it's ceremonial garb, sort of like a cultural attire. So you are basically in your normal
No
armor.
security check on the entry. No patting
no
down.
No patting down. This party is full of the wealthiest elite of the coast, and that includes some real nut jobs. Like they don't call them nut jobs, but there's one guy talking to a weasel. There's one lady who's like got a series of parrots on each arm, just like walking around with parrots everywhere. And of course, the chef making a scene on the red carpet is currently in a fight with the celebrity singer. As you have basically got onto the ship, I will reveal two things to you. So there's lower decks, which is being seen by Pan, and the upper decks, which you guys are just sort of walking into. So in the upper decks, you see a couple of things. So you see a catwalk. So there's a little fashion catwalk, and you see someone who matches the description of Anthracia, the Princess of Venom, one of the 4 people you would describe. You also see to the west, Cog, the Warforged automaton. You also see, walking in, Alistair Alinga Apotha to the north. And right up at the north, at the front of the ship, appears to be the matriarch with Libra Halo. That's where the sort of 4 ones you were notified of are. I'll put that map up there. And down in the bows of the ship, you see a couple of things. You see immediately a little entryway with the servants' quarters, and you see through a cracked door the main hold, which appears to have crates and boxes and barrels, but you can't see much unless you want to sneak through. We're going to put you guys all on the map so that we can manage this. And you guys just tell me what you want to do.
Given we've now been tasked with keeping the matriarch alive, what's the vibe of Libra Halo? Because I think I was parenting when you were describing the 4 people. Are they people to watch as threats, or are they people to sort of
Yeah.
note?
You know that.
The-
Yeah, go ahead.
Aaron would have told you that the weird guy in the cloak said that it's probably one of these 4 people are going to try and kill the lady that sits at the front of the boat. And she's
Excellent.
not meant to die.
Gotcha. We don't let her die.
No,
Cool.
I don't think
Okay.
she wants to die.
Medaz he wants to look like he's stuffing his face and just being a bit of a slob, but he's doing that as well, but trying to take in the orientation of these threats and sort of the defense that currently exists for the said matriarch. Like if anyone's near her or if there's guards about or what have you.
Yeah. You can add a quick glance here that the matriarch has a couple of guards, like 2 to 3 guards, sort of floating around in a loose circle around her. They appear to be noble guards with some plate armor. There's Libra Halo is hanging pretty close to her. She's a mage apprentice. There doesn't appear to be any obvious other protections in place. If you want to get up there and sort of have a chat or investigate a bit further, you could. You risk raising suspicion, but you could absolutely do that. You also see a buffet. There is a large buffet. And you know how like buffets sort of come back, like initially a buffet is kind of like cheap, not classy, but delicious. And then as you get super expensive, it becomes suddenly really acceptable to have a buffet again.
Yep. I read that.
There's also waiters with
Amazing.
circulating canapes.
Medaz grabs a drink, finds gets into the food. And
Yep.
just
What is
sort
the
of
hottest
watch
canapé of the season?
dumplings? No, party pies.
Yeah.
Party pies. Fancy ass party pies.
Dragon meat party pies.
Are they a little bit spicy?
They
So
are
the
absolutely. Yeah. Red dragon.
Yeah.
Someone was just watching Delicious in Dungeon.
Really good show. I like that one.
Great shit. He won't approach yet, but he wants to sort of try and sort of gauge how they're all interacting, or if anyone's eyeballing the matriarch particularly, even though she's the centerpiece. So everyone's pretty looking. But
Yeah. Roll me a general perception check. See if you can pick up anyone particularly suspicious.
let's see, 14.
Hard to say. Like, this is the event of the century and she's the host, so there are people interested in her, but no one seems to stand out to you as like they're going to take a shot.
Van Helsing is getting a vibe that you guys are looking at something. So he wanders over with a drink in each hand and wants to find out what's going on.
Aram will fill him in.
In your special way.
In a special way. Yeah, very much. I think someone said that like the lady at the front, in the big chair up there, someone might try and hurt her or kill her tonight, and we should probably try and stop that.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Downs 2 drinks at once.
Woo! I would like to. Is the model-like lady, is she actively walking the catwalk, or is she sort of just hanging out?
She is strutting up back and forth on that catwalk like it's no one else's business. Like, she just is not taking a break.
Okay. What is she wearing?
A lot of bows. A lot of bows.
Okay.
In fact, it's like it's so many bows that the outfit is just entirely bows. It's quite the statement. It is. A lot of people are like, oh my, Jared, have you seen? Yes.
I'm gonna get a cucumber water, and I'm gonna go over to the side and just wave her down a little bit for like a pit stop to give her some cucumber water, so she doesn't have to.
She looks parched.
Yeah, she's been working.
She sort of walks by and is like, cucumber water down the hatch. Is like, shoots you a thankful look, but keeps walking.
You've made great. Well done.
As she walks past, I'm like, your bows look amazing.
Love the shoulder.
Yeah. From this position where I am, the Warforged person, are they wearing bows?
No.
Perfect. If anyone wants to do anything, go ahead because I have a plan. No?
All right. I'm gonna poke around on this lower level.
You see
Wander
that-
around, having a look.
Do you have a peek in the main hold? Like, do you go in the main hold where the crates?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that.
Give me an investigation or perception
help
check
yourself.
on how close you're getting.
Don't forget to check the barrels for pirates.
Oh yeah. Actually, given my experience, maybe I'll do that. Only a 6 again. My fashion-related roles were really good. Not so much now.
With a 6,
Yeah,
it takes you a
good.
bit. So like, it takes you a bit more time. You're able to get some information because you're looking at barrels, right? Like, it's not
Yeah.
terribly hard, but the cost of a 6 is that it takes a bit more time. You see a couple of different barrels. You see there are barrels that are just marked XXX, and there's a waft of perhaps gunpowder from those. There's maybe 10 of those barrels. You see some unmarked barrels. You know, they're just unmarked as far as you can tell. There is also a drop hatch in the floor of the ship. So like there's the ability to drop presumably bombs or cargo when they're depositing it. So under a lot of the main hold, there is a big drop hatch. And you actually feel the ship taking off as you're sort of digging around. So the ship is now airborne and sort of floating through the air and sort of commencing its ascent over the city. Beyond that,
Just as
you
we're
see another
taking off,
door.
my dad's going to send a message every direction, trying to find Pan, just being like, tell me you got on the fucking ship.
That's right. He was rejected first.
He went the other way.
Hey, where are you?
Yeah. I don't know. Do I get that message? Oh.
Yeah, you would get it. You
Yeah.
also clock
Oh.
just at the end of the hole, there's another door leading to somewhere else. Madaz, as you send that message, you notice that someone emerges up near the matriarch. Someone emerges from the crowd, and you see your brother.
Oh.
And you see him
Much.
wearing the outfit of the church. Please
Has
tell
he
me the
s-
name and a brief description of your brother.
Looks a bit like you.
His name is Lares. Looks much the same, but he's blonde.
He
Uh,
laughs a bit longer.
He is also slightly taller, and has bit. You muted, Sage. Still
So
muted,
you're on
Sage.
mute.
Oh, sorry. You see he is clad in the robes of Moradin, the Soul Forger, the Church of the Dwarves, and he's sort of mingling around the matriarch and a few of the higher nobles at this north end of the ship.
Has he seen me?
No.
Cool. I will go to you and find Pan.
Okay. I'm going to move you to the lower decks. Ella, when he's around, she's just sort of like grabbing drinks and chatting to people and like generally like being life of the party.
Twirling, lots of twirling. Yeah.
I'm going to reveal a bit more of that lower deck for you guys as well. But yeah, you have the 4 people you've been told about. Daz's brother is around. Lower deck, main deck, and Catwalk.
Does he tell us that it's his brother? Or do they look similar enough that we would recognize that?
Not with your
Okay.
current passive perception. If you got closer, maybe, but right now, there's a lot going on.
Fair enough. There's so many shiny things.
Van Helsing, as the airship takes off, he runs to the edge just to look out the window and ends up standing next to Alistair Ingalls. Alingia.
Sure. Do you strike up a conversation?
Yeah, start saying, "Oh, the people look like ants."
And Alistair is actually a female gnome noble, sort of looking very optimistically out upon the city and sipping upon a fine red wine. Says, "Yes, they look like ants, but life is grand in this city, is it not? And whether you're up here with the high flyers or down on the ground with the ants, we've all been blessed, and we should just pay our duty forward."
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Otherwise, how would we end up here? It's all just luck.
It's all just luck. Although I'm bad at resisting temptation, I'm afraid. House Lyrandar has been very good to me, and they offered me a ticket to the finest event of the year, and I just had to take it.
What did you do to get such a wonderful offer? You must be a pretty fancy person.
Oh, I'm just an apprentice mage in the matriarch's service. I help offer wise counsel at times, I would think. Oh, I'm just around. I'm just good vibes.
Van Helsing is now really running out of conversational gambits and is about to start talking about the aromatic weeds he found earlier today. Unless he notices something off about Alistair, he's just going to start rambling.
Yeah, sure. Roll me an inside check. Alistair actually gets very excited at the idea of aromatic weeds. You can see she's a very optimistic type. But roll me an inside check.
Okay, give me a sec. Wait, how do I do this? I'm just going to roll this dice. That's an 8.
8. Seems like a straight up noble. It's a bit hard to read. You get the sense that at these parties, social graces and social mores are very rigidly controlled, and it's very hard to read them. As that's happening, Aram, you hear from your blade, and it says, something feels off. The higher we get, the worse everything feels. What's going on?
We're on a skyship. We're at a party.
Oh, something feels like it's getting worse. I feel like something's going to happen.
Do you feel worms?
Maybe? I don't know. Could be gas.
It's always really hard to tell.
It is.
Maybe tempt them with chocolate.
Pan. You hear a dink, dink, dink on the vial.
Yeah, I'll pull out the vial and see what the worm has to say. Hopefully he's
The
wearing
worm
a top.
he's wearing a tiny top hat. He's wearing a tiny little he's got a tiny little timepiece. He's conjured from somewhere. Like a little old bob watch. And he just holds it up, clicks it open, and you just hear tick, tick, tick. And the worm just looks at you like tick, tick.
The bomb ticking?
Is Madaz there? Can I see Madaz?
Yeah, you can see Medaz at this point.
Madaz, I think time's up.
Just have a think about what we're doing.
Time's up. Time's up for what?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think I might go check that door down the end.
Hey, hang on, you need this, and I'll hand you a chicken leg.
Great.
There's so nap.
Does this open doors?
Okay, so you guys are going to head down are both of you heading down the end to check the door?
I'll head down there. Madaz wants to come. Great.
Sure will. Yeah. Just a bit
Right.
stuffy up
Cool.
there, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, the door does not appear to be locked. You can open it if you want.
Okay. I'll open it very carefully.
Okay, are you being stealthy or are you just...
I'm
What
being
are you doing?
stealthy. I'm not very good at stealth, but I'm being as stealthy as I can.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Will I roll for it?
Both of us.
Yeah, both of you.
Shit.
14 I got.
Okay, let me roll something. That's it. Oh dear.
Oh no.
It's a not natural one.
Well,
What's that? It's an unnatural
I
one.
don't know.
Because
I
I've
could
got
also roll badly.
-1.
I rolled a natural 1. Which... Okay. So with a natural 1, you crack the door just a slight... We'll just see a couple things. You see the rest of the hold, and you also see there's a couple of things.
Bing.
I'm going to reveal them for you on screen.
Purple thing.
Shit.
That's the worm people.
What's the vial?
You see a couple of doll gaunts. They're very similar to what Quentin turned into. You see 3 doll gaunts, sort of worm people, but you also see someone else, someone who seems more composed than the worms. You see sort of a noble visage, very pale face, purple eyes, and raven black hair. You see a humanoid person, purple cloak, directing the doll gaunts, sort of moving towards the door as if they're going to exit into the main hold soon. What do?
Step
Moving
back.
closer to the door. Okay. Do you hide in the hold? Do you run all the way back?
Yeah, very.
Medazzle, step back and whisper message the other, or 4 if Ellen was here.
Yep.
So yeah, I encourage you all get below decks. We've got a purple worm situation.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm popping you guys all the way back down the end of these crates and barrels, if that's okay.
Yep.
You're welcome
Yeah.
to be a bit closer, but I think that's probably where you'd run to. So the doggone sort of stride out, and you can see the man in the purple cloak is walking down and checking the unmarked barrels and sort of knocking on them and measuring something with an arcane device. He just looks out the window at the rising ship as it comes closer to the moon. He says, "Soon, soon, my pretties."
No, no, no. The barrels are full of baby worms.
How's it full of
Yeah,
something?
worm attack.
I don't like worms as an area of effect spell. Okay. If we hear Madaz's message, can we make our way downstairs? I will grab everybody.
You can. As you all go down there, please make me a stealth check. Romana, is there anything you wanted to do before you head downstairs?
I was just working the room, basically, commenting on everyone's outfits and trying to suss out if anything interesting was going on right now, and if anyone had any whispers about worms of all things. And I think I got close to that last person, which was Libra Halo. So at the moment, I'm chatting to her when I hear the message.
So you wander up to Libra Halo, who's up near the matriarch. Libra's interesting. She's a sort of lithe Kalashtar. She's also a mage apprentice, and she looks very serene. And she sort of communicates to you through telepathy. So you sort of just hear a voice in your head and says, "I feel connected to you. What star sign are you?"
Oh, I am made of stars.
Classic Virgo. Nonetheless, are you enjoying the party?
Loving the party, meeting so many people, so much overcome by glitz and glamour.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, darling. I just think that we will really see the light through balance, and this event is such a nice way to bring balance to the city. Yeah.
What type of balance do you want to bring to the city?
I feel like I can trust you because you're a Virgo. I'm feeling a vibe between us. Is that just me? Is that
Yes,
vibe?
yeah, of course. I'm vibing, baby.
Great. Look, I'll tell you straight now. I had a dream, and I normally have a lot of dreams, and they're usually right, but nearly 50% of the time, I had a dream that someone on the ship was going to be a traitor, and I told the matriarch, and she sort of looked at it, and she took a risk calculation, thought it was probably not true, but I had a dream that either Cog over there or Alistair is a traitor, and I had to bring it up because my dreams are pretty.
What did she do as she got more security? Why didn't she not invite them? She can still get them killed.
She's a bit of a boss bitch, if you take my word. So she's very tough. I don't think she was too worried, but she did. She reached out. She inquired through a few channels.
And where do you think this will come from?
The universe.
Do you feel safe here? Should we move somewhere else?
There's an upper deck. There's a lower deck. We could go over Chinwag down there if you want.
That sounds great. Let's continue. Let's get into the details. I want to hear more.
Okay. So you drag Libra Halo down there. Van Helsing, are you also moving to the lower deck when you get that message?
Sorry?
Do you move to the lower deck with everyone else?
Yeah, I moved to the lower deck.
Okay.
Standing behind Pan.
Okay. So anyone who's moved to the lower deck, stealth check. I think I saw some people roll. I'll just double check that.
I got a nat 20.
You got 20, you are fine. Anyone else who's moving down there? So Romana. Let me stealth check.
Can I try and do a roll on the dice on people? It did. First time.
Oh dear.
Oh, I don't like these dice anymore.
So it's a natural one.
Hopefully
I'm
you got
gonna
that one out of the
roll-
way.
I am going to roll opposed. It's possible that I still roll another natural one. No, and there's a pretty hefty bonus. So as you come down the stairs, I think what happens is Libra Halo says, the universes, and some spills a drink and clatters down the steps. And the man in the purple cloak sort of like, please, you guys coming down the stairs? And he points to dog horns and says, hold them off, get them. And we're going to enter initiative.
Can I, just before that,
Yeah.
have cast message one more time?
Sure.
To my brother.
Yep.
I hate you. Keep the matriarch alive. We've got money riding on this.
You get a message back
Fuck you.
that just says, fuck you. You're lucky I've got money invested in this family. I hate you.
You'll pay later.
You have
Okay.
a very
Uh,
different sibling relationship than Arab does.
All right.
Initiative.
Initiative.
13.
13 for Madaz,
8.
And
10 for Pan, 8 for Aram.
Here I go again.
Not too bad. 6 for
Getting
Ramon.
better.
Getting better. Van Helsing, what did you get? D20.
Oh, bugger. Got a 3.
So you guys are caught a bit flat-footed. See what?
It drank too much and ate too much.
Okay. So the Dolgons unfortunately all go first. Let's see how far away we are. So
Been starved of civilization for ages, and then it was on at once.
Sorry, we definitely got a long rest before tonight, right?
you do get a long rest. It's funny, Aram. When you took your long rest, you didn't quite heal to full. It took you several long rests to get back to full hit points. You had a couple of days of travel to get to the city. Yeah, it was odd. But everyone else seemed to heal up fine. So the Dolgons are all going to roll up, and they can't quite get to you, but they are scrambling down the cargo hold. They're like within a couple feet of you now. They will do that. I don't think they can do much else. You see that, well, actually, they've got a tentacle attack that's just got enough reach to hit you guys. One of them is going to roll an attack on Madaz. 20 and...
Oh,
And a natural 20. Okay.
Okay.
This could go badly. Okay. You take 14 points of damage, Madaz.
Okay.
It can't hit you. You are grappled by the tentacle, and that's all it can do. The second one will do the same. It will attack Pan. 2 tentacle attacks. 17 and a 9. I think the only 17 will hit.
yeah,
Pan, you take 9 damage, and you are also grappled. Dorgon C is a bit out of reach. It can't reach any of them. So that's all they can do. Which then takes us to Cog, who's upstairs, continues the party, doesn't know anything's going on. Libra Halo sort of looks around, is a bit stunned, and isn't going to do anything this turn. Alistair's upstairs, nothing happens. Madaz, you're up.
Will it cost me an action to get out of this grapple?
It will.
Okay, then I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on myself.
Sure.
And
Yeah, do.
then bonus action, Lay of Hands, 10 hit points back to myself. And that's my turn. I wanted to cast that
Yeah,
spell
that-
before we started combat, but oh well.
Yeah, one willing creature,
Oh.
concentration. So this is a concentration.
Yeah.
And you're protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae fiends, and undead. Creatures of this type have disadvantage on attack rolls. You can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. Okay, so they're rolling disadvantage. Keep me honest on that. Okay, great. Great stuff. Good call.
Next to that, nat 20.
Pen, you're up.
all right.
grappled.
Can I cast a spell when I'm grappled?
Yeah, you
That
can.
one.
You just can't.
Yeah. So I think well, Pan's not really doing it, but his emblem starts glowing and casts guiding bolt at closest Dolgaunt.
Sure.
to him. Past that. So that is
8
it
is not
says
good.
it says an 8, although it came up differently to me. Okay, all right. So it misses.
What did it come up for you? We'll take that. We'll take what it came up for you.
It came up as an 18.
Yeah, we'll
On
take
me
that.
here.
That's fine.
Yeah, all right. That hits,
Yep, that hits.
and that is 12 damage.
12 damage. That's pretty good.
And
So yeah, it
apart
lights
from-
up.
And apart from that, I'll just try and get out of the grapple if I can.
It will take you a full action to do that, and you have cast a spell, so
Okay,
you
all right.
cannot do that this turn.
No, all right. Me
Okay.
done.
So 12 damage. Aram, you're up with Romana on deck.
Okay. I am going to run forward. So it is these two that
Mhm.
have my friends grappled.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. So I am going to try and free Pen. I would like to use my sword to slice through the tentacle to break the
Ooh,
grapple.
very interesting. Yeah, go for it. Make an attack roll.
Yeah.
You may roll with advantage.
Yeah. Woo! Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Mm.
With the dirty 20, you feel Jimmy, your sword, has told you there were worms, and you cleave through the tentacle. Pan is no longer grappled, and you do damage. You can roll that.
Yep,
Uh,
it is with the extra.
So that gives you an extra bonus against worm-based creatures.
That is 10 points of damage.
Ooh, looking a bit rough. The middle dog one's looking a bit rough. And Pen is no longer grappled.
All right. And then as a bonus action, I am going to Blessing of the Raven Queen, teleport another 30 feet to just behind them. And when I appear in that state, I put a special thing. I have resistance to all damage. Let's start. Hold.
Wow. That is nifty.
Yeah, because I'm sort of like a little bit incorporeal. I'm like all shadowy. It's not quite there yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Romana, you're up. I'll say we've got 10 minutes left on the game because we all have stuff to do in the morning. But Romana, you're up, and Van Helsing, you're on deck.
Yeah, so I'll try and split up the graph.
Yep.
And
How do you want to do that? Just like give me some flavor.
can I use magic missile?
You can do magic missile. You are shooting at a tongue, like a rope-sized tongue. So magic missile does always hit, technically. I will say if you use all your 3 magic missiles, it won't do. It will do half damage, but you can break the tongue grapple. So if you want to break the grapple, you can. It will just do a lot less damage than it normally would. It's just sort of focusing on that one area, or you can just pelt it with damage.
Yeah, I just want to get them off. Yeah, why not? I'll do that. I'll pelt it with a bit of damage.
Yep, go for it.
So that's the D4.
D4. Yep.
Do I roll the D20 first?
Yep. So if you roll, well, we'll say it's magic missile, so it automatically hits. Just roll 3d4 for me.
So I'll roll it 3 times. Okay. So it's a 3,
3.
and a 1.
Yep.
And another 3.
Okay, so 7 plus your modifier, that will get you up to 13 points of damage. Nice. So grapple doesn't break, but you do 13 points of damage. It looks a little rough. Van Helsing, what are you wanting to do?
Can I see what's going on from where I'm standing behind these crates?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Well, then pull out my longbow and I target the remaining Dolgon and try and get him.
Yeah, go for roll an attack roll with a d20.
That's the
Roll
right
a
thing.
d20. Actually, roll. That's damage. We'll count that. But just roll a d20 or roll the attack roll. You get like +3 or 4, I imagine.
I got a 12 on my dice. My d20.
12 on the dice. Oh, not hit. It's got an AC of 16. I don't think you have +4 to your hit. I think you have +3. So it doesn't hit.
No.
Sorry. Do you want to move up closer or do anything else?
Yep. I will then, run up closer with my sword ready for the next round.
Do you want to get like right up in their face or like just next to
Yeah.
Madaz and Pan?
Just sort of up close.
Yep. Okay. With that, the man in the purple cloak with the raven black hair looks at the unmarked barrels, is like tapping on them and just like twists a knife into one of them and just a hint of green gas leaks out and it sort of dissipates into the air. And he looks out the window again, looks at the arcane device he's measuring. He's like, it's too soon. Come on. And then you get a dreadful sense come over you that in 2 turns, something quite catastrophic will happen and that you have 2 turns to prevent that from happening. You see Aram has leaped past the Dogors and is in position, could potentially get in the way. You see Libra, Halo, and Elowin are sort of stumbling around. And you don't know what's going on the upper deck. And we will end the game there tonight unless anyone else wants to do anything for flavor or messages or anything just like flavor-wise.
Aram looks like a ghost. Sort of like the Grudge. Yeah.
What's Ellenwin doing?
Elowin has taken time to sort of like take her fancy dress off and like get into her battle robes. So she's like ducked behind a curtain, like Superman changed into like battle robes, and now she's ready to go next turn.
So she's not upstairs?
She's come down with you. She's come down with you also. And Libra Halo looks like they've now suddenly have their attention fully focused, and they will be jumping in as well.
Brilliant.
Like Eleanor was interrupted with my message spell like right before. Like they're like, "That's Madaz's brother." I talk to them. Message.
But he's upstairs, isn't he, your brother? And
Yeah.
he's still there. So we're all down and he's still there, so he knows what's going on.
Yeah, something's going on.
Okay.
All right, we will end there.